This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, we now bring you a discussion on Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Neelab Srivastav, journalist.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday addressed the nation as part of the 87th edition of his Mann Ki Baat radio address. This address, as we all know, has been a part of PM's monthly interaction with the citizens since he took charge of his office first time in 2014. The Mann Ki Baat is about trials and tribulations, fortitude, resilience, concern, innovation, social responsibility of not only the common citizen but also people from different walks of life who have contributed, who have done something new or something innovative in their own little way. And also these commendable steps then have assumed gigantic proportions that can assure good for the country and people at large. Today, the PM talked about the country's self-reliance in manufacturing, the gaining strength of Make in India, and exemplary developments related to health, science, yoga, Ayurveda, water conservation, very timely when we are approaching the summers, and few more subjects. However, the highlight of today's address remains the recent feat of India achieving the export target of $400 billion. The PM said that this underlines the capability and potential of India. Mr. Tandon, I would now like you to share your views on this first, followed by so many other topics. This highlight of the PM's address where he talks about India's self-reliance and the export target that has been met, I think remains one of the important points that PM discussed with the country today.
Certainly, PM has always been very keen to share his thoughts on the themes and issues that matter to the countryman. Particularly this week, as you very rightly said, it was really a matter of pride that India achieved the export target of $400 billion. It's not a mean achievement. It is a tremendous effort which has been gone through, and that is why the Prime Minister devoted quite a lot of time on this and shared with the countrymen that made in India products are now reaching new markets in every corner of the world. And then he said that when he has been appealing to the people to go for local and become vocal for local, now that local is becoming vocal, and then this local is now becoming global. And he asked people to make the local global, and that will augment the prestige of Indian products further. So he gave credit for all this achievement to the people of India, and that is why the supply chain of India is getting stronger. That the export of leather products from Assam, handloom products from Osmanabad, fruits and vegetables from Bijapur, black rice from Sadauli. These are very, small towns, but their products are now becoming popular in different parts of the world. See, the world-famous apricot of Ladakh has now reached the markets of Dubai, and the bananas are being shipped from Tamil Nadu to Saudi Arabia. Now, he gave this illustration to bring home the point that every part of the country is contributing to this target of achieving $400 billion of exports, like millet grown in Himachal and Uttarakhand is being exported to Denmark, and some of the products like the Banaskantha mangoes from Krishna and Chittoor districts of Andhra are being exported to South Korea. Fresh jackfruit from Tripura are being exported to London by air. And for the first time, king chili from Nagaland is being dispatched to London. These are very startling facts. Perhaps the people didn't know about it. Similarly, the first consignment of the Balia wheat is exported from Gujarat to Kenya and Sri Lanka. Now, he went on and explaining how the products made in India are grown in India are now becoming popular in different parts of the world. He said the potential of India in the field is tremendous, and farmers, artisans, weavers, engineers, small entrepreneurs, MSME sector, they are the true strength and backbone of Indian exports. And also the government procurement mechanism of e-marketplace, GEM. He said this is new India, Naya Bharat, the transparent system which has been developed through technology. He said during the last 1 year through this GEM portal, the government has purchased item worth more than 1 lakh crore rupees, close to 1.25 lakh small entrepreneurs, small shopkeepers. Every corner of the country, they have sold their goods directly to the government. There was a time when only big companies could sell products and their goods to the government. but this has changed now.
The Prime Minister's another stress point was about living healthy. Now, this is also important because there have been certain schemes that this government has brought in with regard to promotion of Ayurveda, the yoga, and so many different other things. And in this context, the Prime Minister did mention that living healthy, being a healthy nation is very, very important. He also spoke about the Kapiva Health startup and the different kind of startups that are being working in this domain. So, Mr. Tandon, I think very important point where the Prime Minister, I have often heard on his Mann Ki Baat episodes, he keeps talking about living healthy, being healthy, and contributing to the nation's progress by ensuring that we remain disease-free and healthy.
Prime Minister mentioned that on the 7th of April, the World Health Day will be celebrated. And, he recalled Padma Shri Awadi Baba Shivanand. Everyone has been surprised to see when he was getting the Padma Award from Rashtrapati Bhavan. The 126-year-old Baba Shivanand at the Padma Award, and it was really a treat to watch him on television. And he is an inspiration for the people, and he is a yoga guru. That was also very surprising. And that was the context in which he talked about the Ayurveda and the Ayush industry. And then he said that yoga or Ayurveda, both are increasingly now trending all over the world. And it also was a pleasant surprise to see Prime Minister mention that a yoga program was organized last week in Qatar, an Islamic country where citizens of 114 countries participated and made it a new world record. So the importance of Ayurveda medicine and now hit 20,000 crore market. And he actually saluted the startups in Ayush manufacturing industry, and now it is touching around 1,40,000 crore. The startups, he mentioned some of the startups who are doing wonders in this field, and it's a unique concept in the Ayurveda healthcare ecosystem. And it is all technology-driven platform, and it connects Ayurveda doctors from across the world directly with the people of India and also the world. More than 50,000 practitioners are associated with this platform. And the Ayurveda startups who are already working in this field, Prime Minister especially named some of them. And this also is now available in all the languages recognized by the United Nations. And he hopes that the Ayush startups from India with better quality products will now reign all over the world. And in that context, he brought in that when we talk of the health, it is directly related with the cleanliness. And then he mentioned some of the individuals who are setting example in the cleanliness drive. He mentioned about, the Chandra Kishore Patil, Nasik, Maharashtra, who is cleaning the Godavari River constantly, encouraging people not to throw garbage in it. He mentioned Rahul Maharana of Puri in Odisha. Rahul goes to the pilgrimage sites in Puri in the morning and every Sunday and clears the plastic garbage. So he gave the examples of people from Kerala and in different parts of the country, people who are engaged in the cleanliness drive. And then he also mentioned that the utensil distributed the person, Narayanan, who is pots for water of life.
One of the major highlight that I would say was also about the PM speaking about Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat and the initiative by the Prime Minister. He also now how he brought in because India is a country where you have so many languages and dialects, and then in that context he spoke about Madhavpur Mela in Gujarat, and he spoke at length about how people should go and explore different kind of culture. This is one example in today's edition, but his idea behind this was that you should explore your own country. There are so many things that many people wouldn't have seen. So I think in that context also, Mr. Tandon, the Prime Minister is wanting the people to travel across the country, see what your country has in its store, and also for the younger generation to understand.
Yes, of course. But coming back to the point of water conservation, the Prime Minister said that in the Amrit Mahotsav year, the country is celebrating 75 years of independence. People, particularly the citizens of this country, should at least, they should work in this field, and collective effort, people should build at least 75 either the wells or some water bodies in each and every district, because the emphasis on water conservation has been the hallmark of Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat, cleanliness drive and water conservation. These are invariably mentioned in every episode of the Prime Minister. And coming back to the Madhavpur Mela, which is held in the village of Madhavpur near the sea at Porbandar in Gujarat, Prime Minister specifically mentioned this because, and this story which he narrated, many people would have not even known that the festival is held in this particular Madhupur town because thousands and thousands of years ago, as the Lord Krishna married Rukmani in this village, and Rukmani was a princess from northeast, and the marriage took place in this Madhopur village. And this, he says, this is a symbol of that marriage, that the fair is held every year. And this also shows that the deep relationship between the eastern part of India with the western part of India. That is the heritage of India, and we gave the details that the bride side is called Dharati, and now many Dharatis from northeast, they have started coming to this festival. Artisans from all the states of northeast reach Madhopur fair, which lasts for about a week, and it creates a beautiful example of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat.
Another important topic that Prime Minister discussed was about the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Now we all know that India's 75 years of independence and the government of India has been initiating a lot of programs which not only bring together the cultural and other linguistic diversities of the country together, but also serves as an example for the younger generation, so that what they have not seen the kind of struggle that Indian independence, a good number of young generation has also not seen that period. So to revive all those things, and then Prime Minister specifically focused on some of the iconic and the national heroes who have their anniversaries coming up. He spoke about Baba Saheb Ambedkar. He also spoke about Mahatma Phule, in that context Savitri Bai Phule. So Mr. Tandon, I think this is also a very important aspect where Prime Minister in his every Mann Ki Baat, he also touches upon some anniversary that probably would have gone by just before his address, or something that is coming up right after his address. I think one important point that he also talks about it.
Certainly, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is also invariably mentioned in one way or the other during all the episodes of Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. And he said on the 23rd of March, many celebrations were held in different parts of the country on Martyrs' Day. And on the same day, PM himself had the opportunity to dedicate the Biplavi Bharat Gallery at Victoria Memorial in Kolkata to the nation. This is the birth anniversary, as you also mentioned, of two great personalities will be coming up in the month of April, and these personalities are Mahatma Phule and Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And he said that the nation will celebrate Mahatma Phule's birth anniversary on the 11th April and that of Baba Saheb Ambedkar on the 14th of April. Both these great personalities, Prime Minister said, fought persistently against discrimination and inequality. Mahatma Phule particularly opened schools for girls in that era and raised his voice against female infanticide and launched mega campaigns for water conservation also. So the great people, not forgot to mention the name of Savitri Bai Phule also. And he said that the parents and guardians of modern India now, younger generation, they should ensure that education of their daughters is very, very significant. And in order to increase the enrollment of girls in school, the Kanya Shiksha Pravesh Utsav has been started just a few days ago. So the focus was to bring those girls back to school who had to drop out from their studies for some reason or the other. Prime Minister urged all listeners of his Mann Ki Baat to visit the places associated with Mahatma Phule, Savitri Bai Phule and Baba Saheb Ambedkar to take inspiration from their lives. And then he mentioned the forthcoming festivals also, and particularly the Navratri, which will be coming up in a few days' time, and then the festival Gudi Padwa on the very first day of Navratra, and then Easter will also come in April. The holy days of Ramadan also are beginning soon, and these festivals the Prime Minister hoped would strengthen India's unity in diversity. So that remains the theme of the Prime Minister, the latest episode of Mann Ki Baat, where he exhorts people to continue to work for the campaigns which he has been launching from time to time, and he never forgets to remind the people the campaign about cleanliness.
Thank you so much for sharing your points, Mr. Tandon.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Neelab Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.